Well, we have this MCI 7 coming in. It's got an overheating problem. Just on flat ground, it's running warm, and if he has any kind of hill, it gets very, very hot. It's even triggered the shutdown a couple of times. So we're going to take a look at it and see what's going on. There's something, the cooling system on these MCIs is very sensitive to airflow. There's some air leaks in the back because it's got the squirrel cage fan where it sucks air through the radiators, and if the doors aren't fitting right, then it can suck air around the radiators. They're just very sensitive. We're also going to just make sure that the gauges are correct and the readings that we have up front are accurate and kind of look at things. This bus has been here before. This is the NASCAR bus is what we called it. It's been here 2 or 3 times, been a couple years. It used to be owned by Kevin Harvick when he first started in NASCAR. That was his actual coach. It's changed colors since it was here before. It used to be black and it's white now, but it's got a lot of solar panels on it now too. Great for boondocking. They're going to go out west with it. But yeah, we're going to take a look at it here and see what's going on with the overheating issue before the engine gets damaged, and hopefully we'll figure it out. Hopefully it'll be something kind of simple. Here we're shooting the temperatures at the thermostats to make sure the thermostats are opening and closing properly. There is a mechanical gauge back here, and these are always pretty accurate. We're going to compare the mechanical gauge and then these infrared readings here with the dashboard gauge and make sure that everything's kind of the same or pretty close to it. The dash gauge on these is notorious for being very difficult to tell exactly what temperature you're running, but there's some engine shutdown right there that when it hits 211 degrees, it automatically shuts it off. And we know since it's triggered the shutdown that the engine has definitely probably got to 211 degrees. So the reading in the back was under 170, and this looks like it's closer to 190 in here. So obviously the gauge is off about 20 degrees. But yeah, imagine going 70 miles an hour down the interstate and trying to accurately guess what temperature you're at. We removed the upper radiator hoses here, and we're going to stick this inspection camera in here. And as you can see, we suspected they might be plugged up a little bit, and they are. Normally, we would just pull these out and take them apart. Most of the MCI radiators unbolt the top and bottom, but these particular radiators are soldered top and bottom. There's no way for us to get into it. So we're probably going to have to send them to a radiator shop, but we're going to try one thing, soaking them in an acid overnight with some very strong cleaning vinegar, and see if that'll eat some of the stuff away. Possibly. We're at least going to try it before we got to send it out to a radiator shop. But yeah, there's definitely the water flow on the inside. The flow is definitely restricted, and that's definitely hurting it.
Big jump. Something.
Yeah.
Yep.
You on it?
You on it?
Yep. That thing has enough on.
It's got battery, but yes.
Too tight. Is it that fitting for that hose on the top?
No. It's where it goes in, but it's not the fitting. It's part of the radiator.
So it's all the way full at the top?
Yep.
And that's all it's coming out.
I'd say that's a problem. We now know why I'm overheating.
Let me plug it back up and get it full up there.
It's full. Pretty.
Show it on the camera.
That's got water in it. And
That
it's
should be like
not dropping appreciably up here. It's still.
Yeah. Yeah, she's plugged up. For sure. There's water like sitting in here.
They're rotted away. They're floppy.
Yeah, they're not sealing anything.
They're not sealing a bloody damn thing. Yeah, and looking underneath, you can see air under the radiator.
Yeah.
So at least 10-20% of the air was going around it, and this is already clogged. We saw that from the other one. Towards the engine or towards the blowers? Oh, okay. Oops.
Just be careful. I don't know how well that piece on the outside is attached.
It's not. You're almost out on the top. There we go. Wow. Self-disassemble. You all right? Drop it, cut?
Yeah, go ahead.
Whoa!
Will you keep my pressure on there?
You can let it go. That was a bath.
Yes.
We have a little pressure on it first.
Ready?
Okay, keep your hand on the top. Go ahead and release the pressure, gentlemen.
Certainly getting stuff.
Yeah.
Because that water's awful gray.
Yeah, no, I see there's pieces floating around in there too.
Cool, not good. The green as well? Or the water is?
It's not green anymore.
It's not pretty green.
It's kind of gray.
Let's try it one more time.
Okay, let me just move my knee.
So the kiddie pool full of it?
Of the cleaner stuff, yeah, and just soak them in
We're leaking out here.
there. Okay.
Drop it.
Yep.
Bubbly. Been doing it?
This is the 30% vinegar solution, so it's pretty dangerous. You gotta be a little bit careful with it.
Let's see. Oh, there's the danger. Rinse it. It can't be that bad. Right?
Dude, that's 30% acid.
I mean,
Put this up on your YouTube. Make sure you put that disclaimer, don't do this attached.
Shake it just a little bit.
Oh, that is amazingly filthy already.
Yeah.
way more than this one.
No, that had the same shit like that. There we go. It's hard to get the light and the...
You know, probably the easiest way is take the inspection camera, don't stick it in the crap, but
Yeah.
you could get a light down there.
Shake it again there. Get a good shot of it. That's gross.
Yeah, there's definitely, that is nasty, and we've had it in there, what, 2 minutes?
Yeah. These rubber seals are all shot on there too, so we're going to replace all that kind of stuff. We need to make sure the air goes through the radiator, and then we're going to clean the exterior of these radiators real well too. But we're going to start with the inside of them, just soaking this heavy duty vinegar stuff in there, get them as efficiently working as we possibly can.
It's freaking so hard to hit that spot. But this, I think, is fine.
Yeah, that rubber looks pretty decent.
I mean, this is all rubber you gave me the last time.
Wow. That ain't flowing.
Just mud.
Oh my gosh. How is any water getting from the top to the bottom of this thing?
We saw it get there, but it does take time. When you put water in the top, it took a good 30 seconds to get down to the bottom.
Very few tubes. This has to go to a radiator shop.
Okay.
Can you see it?
Holy. That's a radiator?
Yeah. Those are supposed to be the tubes right there.
Holy shit. Yeah, they're just...
Yeah, that footage of the inside of the radiator, that was the bottom of it, and that was after we soaked it for 24 hours in that acid vinegar stuff, so that did absolutely nothing to it. So they got to go to a radiator shop. One of them, we put them on the scale, one of them weighs 20 pounds, over 20 pounds more than the other one. And they're identical radiators. They're exactly the same. In fact, you can mount one and just flip it around, left side, right side, they're the same part number. So 20 pounds heavier, more than 20 pounds, that's absolutely crazy. So we're sending it to the radiator shop, have them rod everything out, unsolder it, get into it. Hopefully everything will be okay. The radiator shop quoted us $250 per radiator. I think that's an absolute steal. The Radiator shop guy said they were really, really bad. He took a picture of it when he had them apart here, and you can see he started rotting out the one side. So one side's been rotted out one time, and the other side of this has not been rotted out yet. But he had to do it twice. He said it was really bad. And $250 for the first one he just brought back.
It's back.
So how much was it?
$250.
Oh, wow, just like he said.
Just what he said. He wouldn't take more. He said it took him 3 hours to rod the thing out.
He said it was really plugged up.
Yeah. He said the picture I sent you, half of it was after he rotted and the other half was before he rotted. So you got to zoom in to see it. But
And then he pressure tested it afterwards?
he pressure tested at 20 PSI. He told me to, he said he would have painted it, but he doesn't have the rust
Converter paint
paint. He said if I put paint on there, it's just going to curl up.
Yeah.
So I picked up a bunch of cans of rust converter. I'll buzz that off tomorrow and then paint it.
Just be careful, you got some gravel in the tank
Yep.
down there.
I'll be real careful.
Awesome.
It really, you cut this off so I can do the strap, and I've got the old piece, so I make sure the centers are correct.
Okay, yeah, we can make a new one of those.
And he said you don't need to make a whole big pan like they had. He said just make a small one right in the center that fits so it doesn't flop.
Okay.
He said other than that, he said make sure you paint it good or it'll look like this in no time.
That'll be nice.
But let me show you. You can see it better for the video. He had this all the way off because he had the whole bottom off.
Yep.
He said those screws, he was worried about the screws. Once he got the solder off, screws unscrewed like that.
Okay.
So.
But he said it was really plugged up with shit, right?
Yeah.
Looks like he did a repair over there.
Yeah, he said there was a small leak after he got done rotting, and he fixed that.
This one was the heavy one?
This was the heavy one.
Is it lighter now?
It's definitely lighter now. I can now pick this up like I did.
Or we
the
should
other
put it on
one.
the scale.
That would be interesting.
Okay, it now weighs 53.4 pounds, and it used to weigh 77 pounds. Same radiator. So yeah, that's quite the weight reduction, which it doesn't have that bracket on the bottom, but we threw that bracket on the scale and it weighs less than a pound. Yeah, it was really gunked up inside. And you saw how poorly the water was flowing through it. That was just crazy. So we got to wait for the other radiator to come back. He said it'll be another couple days. He'll get to it. There's not very many old school radiator shops around anymore. So we're lucky we found somebody like that. It's less than an hour drive away. But yeah, stay tuned. We'll see how the performance goes after we get the new radiators back in. The airflow all sealed up on the rear end of the bus so that the air is forced to go through the radiators. It should make a big, big difference. We are going to replace the sending unit and put a different gauge in here because this one's so inaccurate and hard to read. So we're going to go with a digital gauge where it gives you an accurate reading. This one also, I think, has an alarm on it. You can get these on Amazon. I have one in my bus and I love it, but you can very accurately see the temperature, and then we're going to make sure that it is correct as well. So that'll be another big improvement in just monitoring the gauges. Into it. If you're the kind of person who still appreciates old school craftsmanship, real repairs, and machines built to last, you're one of us. Hit the subscribe button and join the crew. We've got a lot more coming.